that needs to be spread. So I'm spreading it with your spirit guides. So I'm actually interested in knowing if you'd like to share with me, how is that you are currently working with your spiritual guides? Do you already have a way to connect with them? Hello, Caroline. Hello, Sasha. Thank you for being here. So I woke up this morning and I felt like you need to share this message. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to share the message. So I just had some breakfast and now I'm here because I want to tell you or talk to you about how I personally connect with my spiritual guides. Because again, there is this thing that in us, like in humans, we think that everything that is related to spirit is like ethereal and transparent, invisible, maybe not even real, when in reality, they are very much real and very much around us and very much communicating with us. And the fact that we tell ourselves that, we are not, I used to tell myself, oh, yeah, that person is a medium, that person is a channeler, that person is blah, 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 but I am not. I convinced myself of that. And so I was pushing away from me the possibility of actually being like that person, plus my uniqueness. So I started connecting with my spirit guides hardcore again recently, from December actually, because, and here I'm going to be completely vulnerable with you, but I have a 3-month-old, as you probably know, if you know me, and I had 17 cents in my account, in my Venmo account. And of course, rent to pay, the bills to pay, the food to buy, and all these things. And I was like, holy cow, like, I don't know what to do. I either find a job outside. I actually messaged 2 friends of mine. I'm like, I'm desperate. I need a job. And one of them, she found somebody that was looking to recruit people. And I was like so happy, awesome. It was actually a job apparently about teaching families how to manage their money. And when I was on the Zoom call, I discovered that it was a job about selling life insurance. Can you see me trying to sell life insurance? No. So I was so desperate. I'm like, I connected again and I was like, what am I supposed to do? Just tell me what I'm supposed to do and I'll do it, because we need to survive first. And then I want to thrive. I want to be able to touch the lives of the people that God is trying to send my way, but that they cannot come my way because I'm not putting myself out there. So how can I do that? And incredible enough, they told me to do this type of thing. So lives and YouTube videos and mediumship sessions again, to create my website, to work on all these things that are behind the scenes of my, how do you say, profile of what you see. And not only that, but I had somebody actually believing in me so blindly that this person gifted me while we were just speaking. I was explaining to her how Squarespace, which is what you use to create a website, works, and everything. She asked me a bunch of questions and I replied, and she blindly believed in me, and she already had my Venmo and sent the entire yearly subscription to me. And that was, I think, December 30th or 31st. And I've had people believing in me in the past, but I didn't believe in myself. So this time I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this chance. Yes, that's the only money that I had. $230 in the account, the money that she sent me to create the website. And we had to pay a bunch of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to, for once, actually invest this money in me and just trust the messages that I'm receiving. And so I did it. And now it's beautiful what is happening. For the first time in 3 years and a half that I live with my husband, I've been able to pay rent. But we're going to talk about money specifically in another live because they want to share, they want for me to share my process because it can inspire others. But for now, let's talk about how to connect with your spiritual guides and mentors. Number one thing is asking ourselves, asking myself and asking yourself, what is the intention? Why do I want to connect with my spirit guides? First of all, we need to put on aside all the doubts, all the fears, all the, oh, no, but this is not real. This is just like, whatever. There isn't actually somebody listening to me. What if? I like to play this game, the game of what if there is somebody listening to you? There is somebody reading what you write in your journal. There is somebody hearing your prayers and your thoughts. What if? Well, there is somebody. And they are what I call the spiritual benefactors, guides, mentors, teachers, even loved ones that have crossed over that are still part of your life and are willing to help you succeed and thrive here on this earth and help you fulfill your boldest and greatest dreams. But we need to be okay with being bold and brave and remember all the great dreams that we had when we were little and we didn't think that they were impossible. So how do we connect? Again, first of all, the intention. What's my intention? My intention is, I don't know, Tara, if you're here, but for example, I would really, really love to have a barn with a lot of animals and just taking care of animals that I rescue on the street or that people bring to me, and just being so abundant that I can just give them food and maybe make a little farm so kids can, I don't know what's the boldest vision, but they really want for us to work on our limitation mindset and dare to dream again. So that's number one. And number two, we can ask them any question. So what am I, for example, what am I supposed to do in order to, get this thing done? And the answer could be anything. The thing here is that we tend not to like the answers that our spirit guides give us. And that's the truth, because we want an answer that like resonates with us and makes us feel like, yes, that's the answer. Awesome. Great. But in reality, most of the times our spirit guides are pushing us beyond our comfort zone. And we don't like that. That's why we like, push our connection with our spiritual guides on a side, because we want to be comfortable. We want for everything to be served to us. And I speak from my personal experience. So, but in reality, they are trying to activate an energetic state that we have, but that gets activated with willpower when you do one thing that you've been putting on a side for a long time, whether it is creating your website, whether it is investing money in a program that you have been having in your heart for a long time, whether it is putting yourself out there and actually serving others, whatever that is. Why am I saying this? Because the message for me was, if you start serving others again, they are going to speak about it and people are going to come to you. And you need to have a place where they can go and see who you are, what you do, and all these things. So I had to breathe through all of the discomforts of creating the website. But now looking back, I'm like, thank God I've done it. And I know that when I was breathing through the discomforts, I was not alone in that moment. And they were just cheering me and just supporting me energetically, which is what you need in that moment in time, because that's what they can give us. They can give us guidance, but then it's up to us to actually follow it. So there are 10 people here watching this right now. There is a reason as to why you're here. And I believe that the reason is that your spiritual guides have been speaking to you through your intuition, speaking to you through Facebook posts, speaking to you through other people, speaking to you through a book or a video or a podcast or an interview. However they are speaking to you, they're using many different ways. You have to listen. Just try, just give yourself 6 months and then see what happens. I gave myself 6 months and now I'm like, wow, this is just such an adventure, because I've actually been revealed right now where they're directing me, which is something that I had no freaking clue up until 5 days ago. And it's so humbling. And why do I smile when saying that? Because, you know, I'm speaking to my fellow mediums here. If you are a medium, we usually want to be spot on. We usually want to heal others. We want to channel specific spirits that the person is waiting for or wants to connect with and stuff. But there is so much more that they want to share with us and they want to show us, because they really know our potential and how to use it. We don't, at least not consciously. So once we open the gates of creativity and trust, they just are have the permission to guide us to a higher level. And we receive dreams, and we can hear voices and see things and visions and all these things that it's interesting, because I'm like, wow, I was afraid of all this. I thought that it was going to be scary. And I understand now why I was afraid of it, because it was going to kick my booty and get me started in my life's mission and purpose. Because I was just running around like, how do they say here? Like a chicken without the head. Such a weird expression, but I guess, you know, our ancestors used to do that. So they used to see a chicken without the head running around. So that's how I was doing. I was just running around, trying to understand what to do and not feel fulfilled in anything but this type of job, this type of work. So they were like, hello, let's do something with it. Let's do something with it. And I am eternally grateful that I started listening to the nudges, because those nudges become greater and greater, because guess what? They want to help us, and they are in our life to simplify our life. Yes, the messages were pushing you out of your comfort zone. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because otherwise we do not grow, we do not expand, we do not actually get to serve all the people that we are meant to serve. All the people, all the animals, all the earth, humanity. We are all the people that are here. In reality, in your core and in your heart, you are a humanitarian, and you know that you came here with a purpose and with talents and gifts that are unique to you. So you got to put yourself out of your own way. I have to put myself out of my own way to see what our spirits have come into this body for. We have health. We can see, we can hear, we can taste, we can speak, we can smell, we can walk, we can express ourselves. There is so much that we can do that we take for granted. My husband teaches children that he teaches music production. That is basically everything. It's music on the computer, for those that don't know, to children that do not see. They are blind. and they know how to use a computer better than all of us put together. There is this guy, he's 15, and he is just amazing. And they don't see, they just hear the commands, and they just, it's mind-boggling, but it just reminds me of the potential. The human potential is truly infinite, and we take it for granted. We shouldn't be feeling guilty about the fact that we take it for granted. We should be feeling blessed about the fact that we are constantly reminded that we can expand more, that there is more, that there is more, that there is more. So what can we do starting from today to connect with our spirit guides? It's going to be different for each one of us because we can connect with them in so many different ways, through singing, through praying, through journaling, through just talking to them. But I'm going to talk about journaling because I've been resisting journaling for years. And then about 3 years ago, I started journaling, and it's just life-changing. It's just life-changing. But specifically with the guides, you can ask whatever. I find it hard being an empath to let go of feelings. So for example, that could be a question that you can ask your guides. How can you let go of feelings? Or how can you not absorb feelings so much? Or how can you serve in a way where you're not affected that much? Yeah, journal is hard because, and you know what? They are gonna bring you, your guides are gonna bring you to mind the hardest thing. Whatever you think is hard, they're gonna be like, yes, do this. You're like, no, but I don't want to. For example, I don't know if I share with you, but I used to ask them, okay, what's the next step? What do I have to do? They were like, live videos on Facebook. I was like, oh no, I am sorry. No, not me. Something else. And they were like, well, a YouTube channel. I'm like, nah. Something else. Well, a website. I'm like, no. Okay, just tell me what I have to do and I'll do it, but not these things. So they want for us to breathe through the comfort because they know what's beyond that. They have Google Maps. Okay, they are Google Maps. They know where we are supposed to go. And we just look at the road and what's in front of us. And we have to trust Google Maps, right? And sometimes we're like, oh, we think that we know, right? We think that, and Google Maps knows if there's traffic, if there's an accident, why you shouldn't go on a specific route and you should go in another route. But we are like stubborn and we're like, no, I'm gonna go and do what I say and what I want. We want to have that control. When in reality, they're like, look, just do this. Give yourself some time to explore this. We know that you don't like journaling. We know that you don't like creating the website, but trust us for once in your freaking life. And my guides, I mean, I want to whisper this, which doesn't make any difference because they can still hear me, but they're kind of bitchy. They're like bitchy. You say bitchy because they just like are nonstop. They're like, so do you want to die and regret not having done 110% of what you could have done with this lifetime? I'm like, oh, okay, no. All right. Like, do you want to be on your deathbed and feel like, oh, yes, nice. I just gave my 50% to life and, I just wanted to live comfortably and I didn't want to explore my full potential? Or do you want to regret and say like, oh, I was young, I should have done this. Why didn't I believe in myself? Why didn't I listen to this? I don't like those regrets. And they make me leave those moments. So if you really want the motivation, just go and leave those moments because honestly, we do not know when our last breath is going to be. And right now, if my last breath is right now, I know for sure that at least in my last 3 months of life, I gave my best. So mine want to talk. Mine want me to walk my fat dog. That's so funny. Their Google Maps love that. Yes. They want for me to start exercising again. And I've been resisting that. And so they make me aware of when I am low energy, or when I am like, you know, how better I would feel if I was doing that. So they make me feel like a little bad, but without offending me. That's the cool part, that they have their way to show me things without offending me. They told me 3 days ago, no, now it's 4 days ago, in a dream, that I was going to go back to study. And Tracy, you don't like journaling, and I don't like college. My thoughts want me not to regret doing what is best for us. Yes. I was told to go back to study, and I was like, academia, no, 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 no. What am I supposed to study? But this time I was like, okay, just let me know what I'm supposed to study. And I received like ideas, and I was like, okay, that's something that I would love to study, but I need validation, because I'm just like you, if not worse than all of the people that are here listening. I need validation over validation, 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 validation. Evidence, evidence, evidence. My husband tells me, you know why you're an evidential medium? Because you want evidence all the time. You need it. I'm like, yes, I do. And I'm fine with it, because spirit is fine with that. They know that I need evidence, and they give it to me. But the answers arrived as to what I am going to study, how, which is, thank God, not in college, and why for now. And everything happened in 3 days. So the thing is that we think that in order to connect with spirit and our spirit guides, we need to just breathe through one nostril for 10 minutes straight, and then levitate in our lotus position. In our lotus position. It was like flower and lotus at the same time. Lotus, I like that word. And then, do the sound. I'm not trying to diminish any practices. I'm saying that that's what I thought that I needed to do, when in reality it's just like, girl, just ask. And here we are with you 24/7 available. I mean, if we have this technology right now where you can see me, even if I am in another state, probably maybe another time zone, if you had the opportunity to see me live right now and hear what I'm saying, they can just hear what I have to say, no matter where I am, where they are, what I'm doing, what they're doing. The thing is that sometimes we are so caught up in our life, and we try to speak to them while we are doing stuff. So we cannot expect to have a clear message then. We need to make an appointment with them, even if it's just 5 minutes, and sit outside. Sometimes I look at the moon, because it's a nighttime when I have inspiration, or very early in the morning, and I just ask. And then I just sit and just smell the breeze, just breathe in, just really, I love the wind. And today, these days here has been very windy. I just do that, and then the answer just comes to the surface, just like oil and water. This is the image that they just put in my mind. When you mix oil and water, and then at some point the oil, when you're not mixing them anymore, you're not shaking them anymore, the oil little by little comes to the surface. And the oil, I am comparing it to the answers from the spirit guides. So what can you do from today? Listen to them, whatever they're telling you to do, whether it's journaling, whether it is going for a walk with your fat dog, whether it is going workout, whether it is resting. Maybe you need to rest, maybe you need to sleep, maybe you need to take a nap, eating healthy, whatever that is. There is a reason as to why they are directing you that way. Whether it's forgiving your dad for what he said to you the other day, I don't know, it could be anything. Because, the messages are going to be tailored to you, and are going to be very material, like very, how can I say, not necessarily spiritual messages. They can be messages that have to do with your current situations in life. Are our thoughts spirit guides? That is a very interesting statement. Not necessarily your thoughts are spirit guides. How do we distinguish our thoughts from spirit guides? Well, this is an interesting question. Thank you for that question. I'm going to tell you how I personally realize the difference between my thoughts and the thoughts that come from a higher level. That could be spirit guides. That could be, just higher spirits. I was working as a cleaner at a spa for 2 months straight. And every day, besides one day out of the week, I was not working there, but every day I would work from 6:30 to 9:30 alone, cleaning inside of the spa. And I took that moment as experiment for me to observe my thoughts. So I would clean and I would just focus on the action. And while focusing on the action, I would become aware of the thoughts that were coming to my mind. And I realized what are my thoughts versus other thoughts. My thoughts are about what I want to eat, what songs I want to sing, what happened the previous day, what happened the next day, are thoughts that don't really bring any how can I say, don't really benefit me in any way. Whereas a thought that comes from spirit is something that usually is challenging for us, at least at the beginning, like for example, the journaling, or for me doing the website, are thoughts that are aimed to make us better people, better souls, better spirits, and are thoughts that want for us to serve at a higher level. So how can you distinguish that? Well, if your thought is, I'm gonna open a bag of chips and just finish it on the sofa while watching the news, I guess that's your thought. Whereas if you receive something like, okay, let's go for a walk, let's listen to a podcast, or you're guided to a podcast or an interview, then that is not your thought. That is a nudge, that is guidance that is coming for you. So I hope that that's clear. Usually our thoughts are around our daily life, and again, are not necessarily bringing anything new to the table, and are around fear, around judgment, around very low vibrational states. And little by little, our spirit guides help us move those thoughts and elevate those thoughts to newer thoughts, new thought patterns. So I would love to extend this challenge to you and actually give yourself the entire month of February to do all the things that you put on aside. For me, for example, now I've done the website, this and that. I'm like, okay, what else? There is not going to be anything else because I've done everything right inside of my mind. And they're like, no, there's still a lot to do. Facebook group, live events, and a bunch of other things. Like now this new 3 months course that they made me enroll in 2 days ago, and that I started, following yesterday, which is a course on physiology, biology, chemistry, physics, because that's something else, right? Especially for my mediums friends here, we're like, oh, in order to develop mediumship, we just have to do everything that is related to mediumship. When in reality, no, it's not. It's not necessarily that. What is spirit? The question is, what is spirit? Everything is spirit. Even science is spirit. And there is a reason as to why right now they're making me studying these things that I was passionate about. I've always been passionate about for some reason. Each one of us has that passion inside of their heart towards a specific thing or specific things, like Terra, your animals, right? For me, it's like science. And I put it on a side because I was like, okay, I guess science and spirituality do not match. But now they are bringing me back because of things that I will tell you in the future. I call them spirit sparks. And it's something that just pops into my head about reaching out to someone in some way. Yes. Yesterday, for example, this lady messages me. She lost her husband to suicide just 3 weeks ago, and she wanted to schedule a session with me. and I don't have sessions available until March. And so she was like, look, I'm not going to schedule a session. Let me know if somebody cancels in February. And I'm like, okay. A part of me was like, all right, awesome. Goodbye. And then her husband just put this song in my mind, and it was just like full blown volume. And I'm like, what in the world? Why am I hearing this? So I didn't even know this woman. She texted me on my phone, and I had to call her and tell her and talk to her. And we basically had an reading on the spot. So these are the type of things that I would have never expected that are happening now. But I understand that I needed to listen to them, trust them, surrender to them, work on, build my confidence, because now they're going to use all this for the highest good of all, because they know my heart, they know my intentions. Dogs and horses. Yes. Yes, I love the word spirit sparks as well. Very, very beautiful, because it reminds me of like the flames. So yeah, so what can you do? What can you do like starting from today? Just try to speak to them. Even like with hesitancy if you need to, because maybe you're like me and you're very skeptical and you need proof and evidence and validation in order to believe. I'm 16 and I'm being promoted to train my naughty pony myself. Crazy. I love that. Oh, promoted. I like promoted better than prompt. You've been promoted to a new task. I love it. I love it so much. Well, Spirit does airdrops like a sudden realization about a past situation that wasn't clear until it drops into my head. I love how you're observing that, and I love how you're sharing that. I know that it's very vulnerable to share this, because sometimes these are things that you cannot share necessarily with everybody around you. I am blessed enough that I am bold, so I just share with anybody, and if they don't want to listen to me, they just don't. Like the other day, there was, oh, the baby's crying. The other day there was somebody here, I mean, like 2 months ago, and I was talking to them about how we received the name of our baby from our baby. And this person was like, so, and I was talking about God and spirit and just what I usually do, right? And this person was like, so are you part of a cult? I'm like, all right, I guess that's all. That's where I'm going to end my conversation with you, with a smile on my face, because it's just so funny to see how, talking about these things just triggers all these fears in people. Like, what are we afraid of? Oh, and I want to say something that they just put in my mind. We want to know our spirit guide's name, their age, their gender, where they're from, what they do, what they used to do here on earth. And they do not necessarily want to share that with us, because it's like as if I want to talk to you, Tracy or Sue or Tara or anybody here, and I'm like, hey, how are you? I want to help you and guide you in your life. And you're like, yeah, but I need to know your size, like, and your weight. How much do you weigh? And you just make them, you meditate, and I'm like, I need to know how much Sylvia weighs, because otherwise I do not know if I'm actually speaking to her. I need to know her name. I need to know where she's from. And that those are not necessary information. Information. That's not necessary to know. It's not, they really need for us to trust. What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? For me, it was very hard, because I had this friend that was a Jehovah's Witness. She still is a Jehovah's Witness. For the first time, I had the courage to tell her last year, look, I'm a medium. I do speak to spirits. If you still love me, that's awesome. If you want to ban me from your life, I understand, because of your religion. I get it. It's fine. I don't get offended. But her vision of spirits and everything just influenced me so much in my first year of mediumship, that I would cry and I would beg God to take this connection away, because I was like, if I'm doing something against God, if this actually is not meant to serve me or anybody, just take it away. That's how fearful I was. So that took a lot of prayer, a lot of reformatting and reprogramming my mind and getting rid of all the things that were not helping me at all. I don't really know my spirit guides. I said it's not important right now. Just trust. Exactly. Exactly. We have these fears inside of us because of, the worst parts of religion and dogma and Catholicism that has many beautiful things, but for some reason people want to focus on what you cannot do, what you get punished to what what you are going to be punished for in case you do. And man, it's not like that. God is unconditional love. God knows your heart. You're not Hitler. You're not going to use your connection with your spirit guides to win the lottery, to kill people. That's not what you're going to do. So trust yourself with that and trust them because they know better what's best for you. They made an agreement with you. They're your friends that before coming here were like, hey, dude, hey, girl, I'm going to help you out. Okay. You're not going to be alone. It's going to be fine. And we forget about that. And so we come here like, oh no, I don't know who's talking to me. I don't know where these nudges are coming from. Can Jesus be a spirit guide? Actually, I asked Jesus to help me in my sittings and my readings and everything that I do, and bring his healing hands on, whatever I do. So the way of spirit, we think that spirit can only help one person at the time, but spirits like Jesus, Yogananda, all these beautiful sorry, ascended masters, their spirit is huge, is like present anywhere where their name is spoken or where they're thought of. This is how I understand it and this is how I feel it. So yes, it can be a spirit guide. Usually that requires for you to be okay with understanding that Jesus that is not putting himself on a pedestal, but is actually coming down from that pedestal and making you realize, hey, I'm your brother, you're my sister, or you're my brother, and we can work together for the highest good of humanity. And that's going to require a lot of work on yourself and a lot of overcoming, again, limiting beliefs. I always ask myself, Jesus knows something that I do not know. How can you be one with the Great Spirit? And little by little, layer after layer, I am being revealed what's underneath the mystery that I am capable of understanding, understanding, comprehend, and integrate in my life. Because there is no good in being revealed a truth that could be very simple, but you do not take it and integrate it in your life. I'm sorry, there's somebody else here. So this is very simple. Connecting with our spiritual guides is very simple in actuality and reality. We want to make it hard for ourselves because we think like, oh, no, if I do not meditate for 3 hours straight every day and I don't clear my mind completely and I don't do all these things, I am not going to be able to connect. When in reality, they just ask you 5 to 10 minutes a day for you to dedicate to them, just like you would dedicate 5-10 minutes a day to a friend of yours, a partner, your child, any person, your mom, any person that you want to have a relationship with, a connection with. So why not taking those 5-10 minutes a day, once, twice, 3 times a day, whenever you want, how many times you want, to connect with them, especially since they're here to help. And if you are going to journal, just set the intention. What is that you want for them to help you with? And if you do not know, ask them, what is that I can do with my life, with my talents, with my gifts to be of better service? That's a beautiful question to ask. And they're going to direct you towards things that either were part of your past and you put on a side or dismissed, or things like, for me, like going back to study, I'm like, wait, I'm about to turn 27. At my age, everybody's already graduated and already, whatever. But they want for me to not think about that. This is the moment in which I am ready for this new knowledge, this new um, phase of my life. And this is the moment, like 11 people here, this is the moment for you to, it's like a rite of passage. You're going through a rite of passage. This is the word that is coming to me. From the old to the new. You do your part, they do theirs. And the more you do your part, the more you train this willpower that you have, which is an amazing, incredible creative force that is going to really show you who you are. Nothing is a limit. Age is not a limit. Your body is not a limit. Your mind is not a limit. Your having a 3-month-old is not a limit. Nothing is a limit. I thought that having a baby was going to put pause to my life. But in reality, the baby has been a catalyst, has been like an enzyme for my life, and just got me started. I just got started. This is the message that is coming. It's like, you don't know, Sylvia, how much there is for you and for others if you really step into your mission fearlessly, and like Tara and I like to say, unapologetically. Confidence, the confidence that I found and that I have now is not arrogance. I've always saw the two very close to one another. Or if you're confident, then you're arrogant. But in reality, it's not like that. Being confident means, right now for me, knowing that I am supported at all times, especially during my sessions when it's very delicate. I work mainly with moms who have children on the other side. So I'm like, I'm here to serve you, because I have no clue what I can tell this person, what I am supposed to say, what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. So I'm just going to trust, and magical things happen. So I hope that you are going to allow magic to enter your life in this month of February, and take some time right now after this live, or today, whenever you have time, whenever you make time, to sit in silence for 10 minutes and ask Spirit, set the intention, ask the question, write whatever comes up to the surface. And Tracy, if your son is on the other side, ask his help as well, because I believe that he sent you this way. Many of my friends and family, my contemporaries, that's how I call them, young men and young women around my age and younger and even older, all the children that are on the other side send me their moms. And now another thing that I had to do this year, starting actually last year, was to do everything in Spanish as well. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's taking so much in English already, and I have to do it in Spanish. I have to do my website, everything in Spanish as well. But I'm not different from any of you. I just decided to trust and go with it. And I now see the ripple effect of every single one of my small actions. So if you have a son on the other side, he's guiding you together with your spirit guides, because he has your highest interest at heart as well. All right, my friends, I am going to finish the live here. I hope I said everything that I wanted to say, but they would just like have me speaking forever. So I need to just set a time limit for myself. And another thing that they told me is that I'm going to channel them directly at some point. I'm like, that's going to be interesting. Let me see. I am embodying the example that I want to see, right? And I'm going to see if I am capable of all these things. But just like I didn't know that I was a medium, I will see. I wish you all a beautiful, glorious Sunday, wherever you are in the world. And if you were here, again, please sit with spirit and journal the answers that come to your questions. Let them surface. Don't look for them. Don't grasp them. Just grasp for them. Just let them surface. I love you all very much. And thank you so much for listening to me and for interacting with me. I really appreciate it. I love you. God bless you.